Make sure you gotta reapply that gloss, alright? You gotta make sure you gloss up before the video starts, because this is the brand. The brand is beauty. It's beauty, lifestyle. Yeah, it's beauty, lifestyle.
Almost made you love me. Almost made you cry. Almost made you happy, babe. Didn't I?
I'm giving you like a little bit of like Nubian realness, you know what I'm saying, like Hotep but like woman though, and you know what I'm saying, like small back, strong shoulders, pretty but don't get crazy, like beating up for staring too long. Hi everybody and welcome back to the legendary channel. Why it's legendary? Because you're here. It's me, ToneClassic, and I wanted to do a quick video talking about cancel culture, because last week I was gonna talk about Adele and the like outrage that like sparked on Twitter because of Adele's weight loss, but I recognized that it might not have been like my place to speak on that, and also time's of the essence when it comes to talking about like pop culture. And girl, I made the video and just edited it and finished it like yesterday, so it was not given what it needed to give. And so I decided that I would widen the conversation up and talk on a broader scope about cancel culture as a whole. For those of you who are not aware, I guess this is just best practice. Cancel culture is when someone, most often a public figure, celebrity, influencer, has said or done something that is inappropriate, something that is offensive, and offends a specific group or sect of people. They maybe say something that's homophobic, something that's racist, something that's culturally insensitive, something that's xenophobic, and it is either said recently or it has been said a long time ago. This is what happens most often. It's something that's been said years ago, and then the internet girls, the Twitter girls, are scouring your tweets from when you were 10 years old and cancel you. And so then they rally for the entire internet and for everyone who has supported you to hop on the bandwagon and decide to cancel you as well. An example of this is the young man that does the Rosa character and the Rosa impersonations, you know, like open your purse, like he's very funny. I saw on Twitter today that the Twitter universe has decided to cancel him because, well, I guess he did make some racist comments. That I cannot excuse. But he collaborated with James Charles, and so everybody was like, let's cancel him, let's cancel him, let's cancel him. And here's what I want to say about cancel culture in general. People make mistakes. Like you guys, people are gonna mess up. We say all kinds of things when we are young and impressionable, and you have to think about, a lot of individuals are not exposed to diversity and inclusion until they become very well versed with the internet, until they become immersed in social media, which is like this first exposure to a realm where they have access to all these different kinds of people. Like there are people, I had a college roommate, right, who had literally never even really been around a black person. Like he had one black family in his town and that's it that he grew up with. So like imagine him going to a college university. Of course there might be some like, you know, there might be some things that don't right add up. He might not know certain things to say, or might say something that's offensive because he just has not had the correct exposure. And for you all to go and be digging up stuff from when people were like 10, 11, 13, 14 years old. There's another woman who's a YouTuber from the UK, and they went and dug something up about her. And let me be clear. I'm not excusing any of these comments that are offensive, that are xenophobic, that are racist, that are you know, transphobic. I'm not excusing any of that. But what I'm saying is to simply call someone out and cancel them because they made a mistake. Well, what does that say about you? Because I'm sure that every person sitting behind the keyboard thugging has made a mistake or said something that they didn't mean or that was offensive at some point in time. And it pains me to see these people who are young and just getting started on the brim of their careers, and you know, you dug something up that does not reflect who this individual is today in this moment. And so with that being said, I do think that of course there are scenarios and situations where it's like, this statement that you made speaks to your character of who you are. No matter what you say now, this was extreme to the point where I cannot support you. I definitely think that those situations exist and their appropriate follow-up or action is warranted. But I think that, especially on Twitter, we're getting a little bit stir crazy and we're starting to just cancel people for anything and everything that we don't like. People are still entitled to have their opinions. That doesn't mean that they can disrespect you. They're entitled to have their opinions. They're entitled to change. They're entitled to have thought one way at one point in time and then no longer think that way now. And it's important that we are understanding and patient with each other, because at the end of the day, we're all we've got. We are literally the next generation, okay? And so it's important that we show compassion. It's important that we understand that mistakes can be made. It's important that we understand how to give a correct and proper and sincere apology, because I think that even sometimes, you know, someone apologizes and now we're sitting here microanalyzing their apology and trying to pick out, and I get it, especially if you're a part of the group that has been offended. You know, there are people who I really respect and people who I stand, who it comes out that they've said something homophobic or something racist, and it's very unfortunate. However, if we're gonna take a moment to teach, then we need to take a moment to teach. And by canceling someone, you're scorning them. Yes, sometimes you're teaching them a lesson, but if they don't necessarily deserve to be canceled, and if there's room for growth in there, and if that's somebody who's changed since they made that comment or since they did whatever they did, then you're scorning them. And you're casting them out instead of giving the opportunity to learn from their mistake. Okay, let's learn from this mistake. Let's learn from what you said. Let's learn from this idea that you maybe previously held on to. Let's learn why it's wrong. Let's learn why it's inappropriate, and let's move forward. And then actually let's take that moment and let's use it to teach your fan base and to show them, hey, this way of thinking is not okay. This way of thinking is not appropriate. This is how I used to feel. I no longer feel this way, and this is why. The only difference between you and this individual is that the spotlight is on them. So if the spotlight was on you and you had hundreds of thousands of people digging and looking through your stuff, you know, I'm sure somebody could find something not racist or not homophobic, but I'm sure someone could find something to be offended by that you've said at some point in time. So I think that it's just like global citizens, okay? Let's be a little bit more empathetic. Let's be a little bit more compassionate to each other. Let's be a little bit more, let's take a moment to teach, okay? And if somebody doesn't want to learn, okay, getting that. Let's try and take a moment to make a positive example and not just ruin someone's life. Now I want to stress, girl, those people that was doing those racist TikToks, girl, they're canceled. I'm speaking about the things that are like a little bit more minute, that are from when someone was like 10 or 11 years old. I want to make sure you guys understand I'm not excusing racism, xenophobia, or discrimination of any kind. Take this message with a grain of salt. Obviously, you guys know I demand my respect, and I want everyone to be respected and feel respected. I'm not just like a brush things under the rug type of person. I'm all for like having things out in the open and being like, okay, this was inappropriate. I need an explanation. I need some like protocol. I need some change. I'm all for that. But this just like canceling and then like this just ruin this person's life. Like, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. But I'm interested to know what you guys think. Please leave me a comment below. Even if you take part in it, if you completely disagree with everything I said in this video, I still want to know your opinion. I love you guys so much, okay? And you know, I would hope that I try to be like on my P's and Q's and stuff, but you know, if it comes out one day that I said something that was offensive or that was hurtful to someone, I'm gonna take it like a man and I'm gonna apologize. But I would hope that people understand people change and no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. Y'all sit here and watch me on camera whenever I post a video, and I appreciate that. And that's why I thank you for every single, that's why I thank you in every single video for sitting here and spending your time watching me. But I'm not perfect, okay? And so no one is, and that's what I want to stress. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure you turn on the notification bell. I'm sorry, I'm so sleepy. Make sure you turn on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I post videos on the network. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram at ToneClassic and check out my fashion lifestyle blog, www.toneclassic.org. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.